serving real talk, the genuine choice.
No pretense, no hidden schemes. Just sports, passion, fueling dreams. From the field to the court, every play that's made. Real takes over fake debates. Turn it up, hear the honest sound. Unfiltered sports all year round. Discussions pure, no masquerade. Real takes over fake debates. Turn it up. Over fake debates. Real takes over fake debates.
Real takes over fake debates.
And we are live. Sbtalksports, Sean Webb. Real takes over fake debates. It is Monday. Salute to everybody in chat. Salute Go James. Salute Go James. Salute Tiff. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Of course, Tiff, you rock with the Ravens and get close to football season. Sean, how you doing on this Monday, brother?
Doing good, SB. How you doing, man?
Chilling, man. It's good Monday. My daughter just started back the first day of school today, so it was good day. Been up and active, running around all day. So finally get a little time to chill and actually sit down. So I'm actually going to enjoy this last hour because I haven't been sitting down since like 8 o'clock this morning. So I've been in and out the house ripping running all day. How about you, man?
It's just Monday, man. Just typical Monday. Just looking forward to getting through this and talking we got some stuff to get into, I'm sure. And this GOAT quarterback season is going to get interesting.
AFC West.
AFC West edition. So, yeah, looking forward to it.
It's my division. Shout out Tiffany picking the AFC West. It's my team division. This time, the Chargers division. But, Sean, when I was looking on this, I peeped the story up. So, you know how obviously ESPN caused the uproar with their top 100 list. The Score actually did like an all half decade team.
Was the Bleacher Report that did? It was the Bleacher Report that did the 100 list.
Bleacher, I'm sorry, ESPN. Bleacher Report did the 100. You're correct. The Bleacher Report did the top 100 players, and the Score did a all half decade team. Obviously, looking at the top players of the last 5 years from 2020 to 20. I wanted to get into it, and then we can look at it and like see how the players progress. I personally think a lot of players, if you do it by the end of the decade, a lot of players might not be here because of like retirement reasons. You know, like what LeBron at. We could definitely see what LeBron is at ranked on there because LeBron, Steph, even the guy that's young, I think going to drop down. But let's go ahead and go through it. They got a first team, second team, and a third team, and we can just chop it up about it real quick. Where is it? Score right here. Boom. Let me get the title out the way and put us down here, Sean. Give me 1 second. Move the ticker. All right. So the Score all half first decade team, the top 5 players. So this is the first team. Nikola Jokic. We can all agree right now that Nikola Jokic is by far the best player in the NBA. And the sad part about it, Sean, which something that blew my mind. I gotta see. I seen a quote, but I'm gonna do my research, make sure 100% true. I think DeMarcus Cousins was around time DeMarcus Cousins on the Nuggets. He said he was quoted that Jokic was thinking about retiring, and he told Jokic, like, bro, you got like $300 million on the table. Go take the money. So I don't know how much longer Jokic is going to play. I think Jokic got one more big contract in him, Sean, that he might call it one. Or Denver going to have to build a horse and stable to keep this man for the next 15 years. Because, you see how he celebrated when the horse won the championship. So he trying to get up out of there.
Well, I mean, I don't think he's trying to get up out of there. I just think his interests go well beyond basketball. And he's kind of one of those rare guys that isn't going to be defined for him by basketball. So that said, I mean, I think, he's not signed an extension with the Denver Nuggets yet. I think he's just waiting till next offseason to do it because he can get more money doing it that way. And the Nuggets are going to pay him that money, so.
They better.
Yeah, but that's a whole different conversation, of course.
I would tell Jokic, look, you got to come back. We gonna wait till next year. We gonna give you the money you want. Matter of fact, we gonna make you so happy. You gonna put a no trade clause in your contract, right? And then even with the no trade clause, we gonna put a no retirement clause in your contract too. Where you gotta play this whole contract out. And we're gonna put a horse stable in your backyard too. But I don't know if a horse gonna last in Denver as they do in Sylvania.
Yeah. I think if we were doing a no tradable player in the NBA list, he would be number one.
After last year, Sean, you never know. These executives get tricked and be like, it could be deals under the table. You never know, Sean. That's the only thing. That's my only mindset that you never know.
I think I would say this. I think everybody looks around the league and saw what happened in Dallas to Nico. And I'm gonna be clear, I don't think Nico traded Luka for basketball reasons. I think that was purely a financial call.
Yeah.
But that said,
that was up top that made that call.
And if you just look at, as we talked about, SB, the new business structure of the NBA, it's hard to have a guy you're paying that amount of money and filling out a roster around them if ownership doesn't want to spend and isn't okay going into those aprons, deep into the aprons, because again, the restrictions that the aprons bring on. So there were a lot of factors there. I think that was what ownership was basically saying, was we can't pay this guy that amount of money and field a competitive team, a cost-effective competitive team.
Yeah, you could build a team. It ain't gonna be competitive. But Jokic is the first guy that's up on the team. Not shocked. From 2020 to 2025, gave you 26 points, 66 true shooting percentage, 12 rebounds, 9 assists, 2.1 steals plus a block, 2.1 steal plus block, 5-time All-NBA, 5-time All-Star, 3-time MVP, 2023 Finals MVP, 23 Western Conference Finals MVP. I don't know who this guy is, but we're not looking at him. Next up, Giannis Antetokounmpo. I know a lot of things talked about Giannis, but I can tell you right now, Giannis, please stay in Milwaukee. Don't fold for that. The grass ain't green on the other side. Sean, from 2020 to 2025, Giannis gave you 30 points, 62 true shooting percentage, 11 rebounds, 6 assists, 2.1 steal plus block, 5-time All-NBA, 5-time All-Star, 2-time All-Defensive Team, 2021 Finals MVP, 2021 All-Star Game MVP. Only thing that shocked about Giannis, before we keep moving on, is Jokic came out. We thought Jokic was great, but Jokic came out of nowhere. I think he took Giannis' spot. I think before 2020 or like the COVID year, like during that time, we all assumed that Giannis was going to be the guy for the next 5 years, but Jokic came out of nowhere. The next guy, SGA, for 29 points, 61 true shooting percentage, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 2.5 steal plus block, 3-time All-Star, 3-time NBA, 2025 MVP, 2025 Finals MVP, 2025 Western Conference MVP, 2025 point leader. I think SGA is going to be around for a while, Sean. We can say that. This is one I want to stop at right here because I want to keep going. Joel Embiid from 2025 to 2025, 30 points, 63 shooting percentage, 10.7 rebounds, 4.1 assists, 2.5 steal plus block, 3-time All-NBA, 4-time All-Star, 2-time point leader per game, 1-time defensive, and 2023 MVP. I think as the decade go on, Sean, if they do this again in 2030, Joel Embiid, I think will be on the list, but he won't be first team. I think Joel Embiid only has maybe one more year, maybe 2 more years of league. Am I crazy for saying that?
No. I think they know that knee is not good and at all. So anything he does at this point is going to be icing on the cake because
honestly, I think they got everything out of Joel Embiid they was really going to get.
Right.
The championship window was the year I think Philly was going to go to the finals that year. And if the same thing happened when like KD got hurt, I think Philly would have won. But with KD, with Kawhi and those boys, they did what they did, and Kawhi took off and had one of the greatest postseason stretch we've seen in a while from a start. And that team was great all around with Pascal Siakam, Kyle Lowry, and then how great they was defensively too. I really think there wasn't no stopping the Raptors that time. Next one up, Steph Curry. This is another one I'm kind of questioning, but it's only when he retires. But I think Steph Curry will play. I think Steph Curry at least got another three in him. So if he only missed 2 years, I still think people make Steph all decade first team for sure. But Steph still putting up crazy numbers at this point. And so, like I said, Steph Curry, I started ranking Steph Curry higher all time because I never seen a player as the older he get consistently gets better. The man won a unanimous MVP, and he's 2 times better than he was when he won the unanimous MVP. But 2020, 25, 27 points, 62 shooting percentage, 5 rebounds, 5.9 assists, 1.4 steal plus block, 5-time All-NBA, 5-time All-Star, 2024 Clutch Player of the Year, 2022 Finals MVP, 2022 West Conference MVP, 2-time All-Star Game MVP, and 2021 point leader. Agree with this list, Sean?
Yeah, I'm okay with it.
Okay. I like it too. Hold on. I got to find the second team one. Hold on. Let me look up the second team. Okay. Second. Decade. Is this the second team? Let me see. Okay, no, this is the quarterback one. No, we want NBA. NBA. Okay, there you go. Second team. Well, I know where to go back with the third team. Okay, now second team. Second team. Sean, I ain't gonna lie, man. I know my boy Tatum got hurt, but I don't think Tatum getting enough love he's supposed to be getting. But we go down this quick. Luka Dončić. I gotta go. I want to go through every stat, but Luka Dončić, Jason Tatum, LeBron James. Only thing about LeBron, I think they're gonna still show LeBron love. But if another player or two take off these next 5 years, I could possibly see LeBron being dropped off the list of an all-decade team because he's gonna have a 5-year stretch, or he gonna be third team for sure. Am I crazy for saying that?
No.
Yeah, okay. Because I'm like, I don't. It's just because of the timing. But LeBron James to still play as good as he has been playing so far is outstanding. I'm not gonna lie. Kevin Durant, that's another person I feel the same way too, who might drop. Depends on how long he plays. Because I honestly, Sean, but he just had to how many years on his extension? What, a 3-year extension?
I think it's 2 years.
2 years. I mean, yeah. So 2 years and an option, right? Or is it just one option next year?
I think it's 2 years, but I'd have to look it up. But I think it's only 2.
But this is the same thing I probably see because if Kevin Durant retired, if he could push like 2-3 more years, they might still keep KD second team. But I could see him dropping to possibly third and maybe out only because of retirement. And Jimmy Butler. Now, Jimmy Butler, I know. Let's be real, Sean. He got this now because of his run with your Miami Heat, which was magical. We haven't really seen a player where nobody had no belief in him, and he took a team to the next level. We can talk about it, Sean. I know you remember this vividly because when Jimmy Butler signed to the Miami Heat, everybody clowned the move and graded it as a bad move and said Jimmy Butler didn't want to win. Well, Jimmy Butler proved them wrong with what? He had, 2 final appearances and was outstanding. Like, honestly, this is some of the best basketball he played in a while. So, do you think Jimmy Butler will stick around this long? And then, how do you recap like the Miami Heat Jimmy run? Honestly,
I mean, it was largely improbable. Both those years were improbable, just given where the Heat were in terms of record during the season, but also, when you talk about one of the Heat were number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference one of those years. So, it was a really good run. Obviously, it's again kind of sad how things came to an end the way it ended, but you can't take away what you can't do. You can't erase the tape.
No, you can't erase the tape because playoff Jimmy got his name for real during that time. And he said, Johnny said, Bron played 6. I know Bron played 6 seasons, but even him playing 6 seasons, he still might, like, depending on what goes on or who emerges in these next couple of years, he could drop down to the third team. But I have no problem with that team right now. I think every player proved their point of why they should have been there. That was a good list. And then the third team, we got Anthony Edwards. Is that's bad? Or is like
no. Yeah, no. Of course, it only makes sense.
Could make sense. Yeah, Western Conference Finals, Devin Booker, Donovan Mitchell, of
course,
Tyrese Halliburton. Is that one run? Was that great? Yeah.
I mean, that was 2 years. Last 2 years, but I mean, if you really go back, since he got to Indiana, I mean, it was he took off.
Yeah, he did.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah, no argument for me.
I pray he come back from this Achilles like better, or even like the same. If he ain't like 100% the same, at least 80% the same way, he's impactful. Because Tyrese Halliburton in this playoff run was special, and I hated it ended the way it ended. Right. I wish, as basketball fans, we could have got the game 7 that we supposed to got, everything on the table, all in, better team win. And then honestly, Sean, I ain't gonna lie, OKC got a little lucky. Because how that game started off, man, we could have had a trophy in Indiana right now. And Domantas Sabonis.
I'm with this. I think Sabonis is vastly underappreciated in just talking circles. But, you know, if you're a hooper or you're a true hoop, hey, you know Sabonis, he brings it.
Sean, I'm going to tell you why he's underappreciated, because Sabonis has been one of the best centers in the league. It was a couple years. I remember a year where people got mad at me, and I was like, bro, it was the year when Sacramento made the playoffs for the first time in a long time. Right. I told people got mad. I said, bro, Sabonis is playing better than AD and Bron. I had him higher. He was literally playing like a top team player that year. He was almost averaging a triple-double that year. But, Sean, I know you see my mouse right here. This is the reason why he's unappreciated right there. Right there. That's why. When you play for a trash organization that don't care and show that they don't care, and why should I care as a fan of basketball? That's all that is.
Right.
But let me know what you guys think about the all-decade teams, the first, second, third team. Let me know if you guys think the score has got it right. Let me and Sean know. But I think I like that they actually did. Tiffany said the Celtics need them. I mean, that would be a good pickup next year, because you got to replace that.
The finances aren't
gonna work.
Aren't there? Yeah, no.
Yeah, Celtics lucky they got that one.
Have to trade Jaylen Brown to do it. Yeah. And I don't think the Celtics want to do it.
I wouldn't do it either. Celtics lucky they got their championship when they did, because boy. Yeah. We usually don't talk wrestling, shout out rock wrestling, but it is it was I was shocked that it happened though. But it
was Celtic Shaq. We just need to keep it a bean. That's what it was.
Celtic Shaq. It only hit a little bit different. Sean explained, because you know this John Cena last year, right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's why. That's why. Yeah. So that's the only reason why I get a little different, because he knows it's John Cena last match, so he ran back his rivalry, and then John Cena said he wants to wrestle him. So that's why I kind of hit. That's it. But I get why you said Celtic Shaq though. I do get it. He said, what years were all the teams from all decades? From 2020 to 2025. It was all half-decade team, to be exact. All half-decade. But we got to get into some NBA stuff now. A couple signings has been going on. But make sure you guys like, make sure you guys share, make sure you guys subscribe, and salute to everybody in the chat. Boom, Sean, let's go to the breaking news that's first on the list. Spurs signed De'Aaron Fox for a 4-year, $229 max extension. A lot of people was concerned that De'Aaron Fox wasn't going to get an extension because of the Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper situation, but the Spurs have locked in De'Aaron Fox. What your reaction? Was it a smart thing to do this, or should they just went all in with the rookies and trade De'Aaron Fox?
No, it's a smart thing to do this, because De'Aaron Fox is an asset. Mm-hmm. The asset they have now is that Castle and Harper can continue to develop. They don't have to necessarily come out and be, you know, the lead guards and the guy that they're expecting to help, you know, Wemby, you know, bring the Spurs back to championship contention on day one. So that's where I think it's helpful. I do think also, though, again, if there's an opportunity and again, Fox is a very tradable asset. He's still very much in the prime of his career. Mm-hmm. If Fox became available, or the Spurs said, hey, we think we want to go ahead and pivot to, you know, in a new direction, then there are going to be teams that are going to want De'Aaron Fox, you know, even, you know, with that contract, you know, so that's why you do it. You know, you sign the contract and you figure it out later if you're the Spurs and De'Aaron Fox. You know, the next one we're going to talk about is a little different, but this one to me was a no-brainer.
Yeah, for me too. At this point in time, it wasn't over, because I do like even when it was first happening, where I was like, maybe they should have got with Ace Bailey during that time. But I'm like, when you get a guy like Dylan Harper, who's a great guard, lefty too, by the way, he can fit in and learn from De'Aaron Fox too. Also, like you said, he's an asset at the end of the day. You can let the guys develop, let them come off the bench. I think the Spurs are going to have, if they lock in, they're going to have one of the best backcourts off the bench, if not one of the best benches in the league in general. Once they lock in and you can figure out which guy starts, I think one of the guys is going to still come off the bench. I don't know if it's going to be Harper or Castle, but the Spurs can make that an asset and be outstanding.
Yeah, and if you think about it, SB, and I'm just using NBA history for a moment. If you think about the Detroit Pistons, the bad boys, they had 3 guards that could all start. Vinny Johnson came off the bench, but Vinny Johnson could start on a lot of teams.
Yeah.
The Houston Rockets, when they had Kenny Smith and Vernon Maxwell and Sam Cassell, and then later Clyde Drexler, Kenny Smith, and Sam Cassell. Sam Cassell came off the bench, but Sam Cassell could start on any team. So and you can play those 3 guards interchangeably, at times. So, I think that's how the Spurs may be thinking. They have a lot of young talent. And, and again, that was Fox's preferable destination. He got to where he wanted to go. He signed an extension, again, but if the Spurs decide to trade him, they're going to get assets and pieces for him. So I think it's a win-win on both sides in the short term and even potentially in the long term.
Yeah, because I can already see the package coming. I ain't saying for who, but I just see it's going to be De'Aaron Fox, Devin Vassell, and a package and a pick, and it's going to be sent to somewhere, get either a star wing or a star big. That's all I'm saying. It's really going to be up, especially if Wemby stays healthy, which is seeming he's been in the Shaolin with the monks getting right. So I'm expecting a crazy season from Wembanyama. Next up on the list, the new sheriff in town, Luka Dončić inks a 3-year, $165 extension with the Lakers. Sean, what's your reaction to this?
I'll say this one was a little more surprising. Not for the reasons that people may think, but Luka made it very clear that he had always intended to sign an extension in Dallas. He didn't ask to be traded to LA. They just traded him to the Lakers. I thought he would get to free agency and at least, because that's his one moment to test his power and his ability. And there were teams that are going to have will have cap space in 2026, the end of next season. Also, I thought Luka being with LeBron, he would take a little more of the LeBron approach, which is be a little bit of a mercenary in terms of how you handle the ownership in the front office.
Yeah.
And so, I was a little, but he's not LeBron. I'm not saying he's LeBron, but that's one of the things I've always kind of liked about LeBron is like he keeps the pressure on you by taking either the shorter deals or basically saying, hey, I can be a free agent. It's not meaning I won't come back. And it wasn't that I thought that Luka couldn't come back to the Lakers. I just thought he would kind of play the process out a little bit and at least keep some pressure on, the front office and to make moves. But, obviously, this is what he decided to do. And,
I don't think for me, from what I learned, is that like usually like the players from like overseas, they don't kind of like move around like that. And that's why you see it like when Luka said he didn't want to leave Dallas. A lot of the international players really don't like to bounce around like American players. One day from a whole other side of the world. So they want to be going to different states and different parts. So that's what I said. People always forget that part. People just think it's NBA 2K and you just go put you somewhere and you just be happy. No, you see why it didn't work out with Dame? Because Dame was not happy in Milwaukee. Well, you got to get your kids. You got a flyer from Portland to Milwaukee all on the other side of the world.
Right.
But for me, I think with this Luka Dončić situation, I do kind of agree. Like maybe he could have put the pressure on him, maybe give him more money. But I think they have been doing what he asked for. Like the Marcus Smart move was him.
Right.
That was saying the guys that they added. What's the word, Pops? He said, "I need to know what the Lakers are doing." They're doing whatever Luka says. So that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm thinking. I think they're doing whatever Luka says. So, and that's what the point I was going to is that I think they already showing Luka, hey, we will do what you need us to do. And then also, you got to sell the assets of LA. So, his agents and those guys going to like that because Luka is signed to Jordan. Luka is an international superstar. Luka is been pro since what, 16, 15 years old. So he has a star power to his name. And it's not about LeBron anymore. Even they said like LeBron has accepted to understand, but LeBron gonna, like you saying, I won't say pout about it, but understanding that he can't apply that same pressure like you saying that he has been before. And it's harder to do that when you the Los Angeles Lakers, because you can't pressure the Lakers. The Los Angeles Lakers franchise is prestige differently, because even when he pressured the Lakers, when he tried to, there's only so much he could have got done. I think the one time he really pressured the Lakers, and this was the year they won, was the 2020 when they got like the AD, they got the Dwights, the different big mans, the 3D shooters. And then after they got that championship, you could clearly say they went, and Russell Westbrook. That was, I think after the Russell Westbrook one, it was like the last straw where they really stopped listening to LeBron. So I think Luka wants to lock in early with the Lakers. Obviously, he only signed a 3-year extension. So he's not like he signed like for a very long time. So they got 2 years of Luka, then he could just up where the money is going to be way higher. And if he don't like what the Lakers did, he could definitely up and move on.
Yeah, it was just again my thing was, and I understand obviously from the Lakers' perspective, the Lakers' biggest fear is they not having a transitional star post LeBron, right?
Yes.
Which is why you make the Luka trade in the first place.
Mm-hmm.
They remember what it was like post Magic, when Magic had to retire unexpectedly to getting Shaq. It was some dark times, in LA. And even though Magic came back, a couple times, one longer than the other, it was tough. So they really believe in not being without the transitional star. The time between Kobe's retirement and getting LeBron, those 2 years were, a little iffy. They don't want to go through that. And so you understand from their perspective. I was just speaking from Luka's perspective. The Lakers a doggone thing. Nothing.
I agree on that.
And so that was my thing. Like, hey, this is your one chance to assert your power and to say, hey, I'm not saying I won't stay here, but I want to see how next season plays out, and then I'll make a decision at the end of the season. Again, you mentioned the mentality. Perhaps that was part of it, but after getting traded from a place that he didn't ask to be traded.
Yeah, he did.
Right. His getting traded was very much a surprise to him, as it was to everyone else.
He just bought a house.
Right.
He just
built a huge, house in Dallas area. So, so that's why I thought he would say, okay, I'm going to treat this more of as a business decision. And also, again, keep the pressure on the front office and ownership and, the folks there to continue to make moves and to see what we can do.
Yeah, answer the question, my boy Sports PSP Salute Sports. He said, what's next for Zion?
Hopefully Ozempic.
There you go. I have that note. Yeah, so we're gonna see what else going on with Luka. On to the next side. The Knicks signed Mikal Bridges, or he agreed to a 4-year, $150 million extension. He took like $6 million less, for the team. Took a pay cut. How do you like this move, Sean?
I mean, this was kind of a no-brainer for the Knicks, given what they gave up to get Mikal Bridges.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, I think he's a huge part of what they want to do going forward. They paid OG Anunoby as well. Mm-hmm. But the one thing about Mikal Bridges, he's going to play. He's the current Iron Man, in the NBA in terms he does not miss games. So, that's the one thing you don't have to worry about with Mikal Bridges. And I think, again, with Mike Brown and new coaching staff, things like that, you do want some continuity. And, obviously he, brings, continuity. So it only makes sense.
Yeah, before I asked he said we need a center. That's it. And we can make a run. That's all we need. A 16 from a center, and we can do it. You guys keep up the good work. Appreciate it, Pops. But you ain't getting 16. Ain't no center out there right now. You getting 16 from not this year. It's gonna be. That's my girl Pops. He's LeBron is guy. But it ain't gonna be LeBron. LeBron ain't gonna get that 16. Maybe Luka in like 2-3 years, but 16. I don't know where you're getting that from.
I'm just telling you right now. Just get ready for disinterested Ayton. The moment he's not touching the ball, the moment he's not a viable part of the offense, and just get ready for that.
If he ain't touching that ball, he ain't gonna get no more rebounds. He ain't gonna play no defense. If he got to shoot it like every other 3 minutes. Or if he ain't shooting every 3 minutes, he ain't playing. A good center for the Lakers to have got, but the Nuggets stole him. I don't know why. A real competitive team. I'd have been, if I knew I'm like a center away, I need a center that can literally knock down shots and get rebounds and can play make. I don't know why nobody got Valanciunas. Valanciunas is an excellent cheap big if you're a championship contender. I would have took Valanciunas over DeAndre Ayton. I'm gonna be real with you, but you got DeAndre Ayton off the street, so you got to take what you can take. But for me, with the Knicks move right here with Mikal Bridges, I like this signing. Like you said, you gave up a lot to get him. And for all the Knicks fans, they do love Bridges because it's a playoff run, but at point in time, they was complaining that he wasn't scoring as much as he was. You got to think about it. He went from Brooklyn when nobody was there, ultimate green like his shoot, to now going with Karl-Anthony Towns and Jalen Brunson. And no matter how much Mikal Bridges has improved as a scorer, he's never going to be a better scorer than Karl-Anthony Towns or Jalen Brunson. He knows that. He came into the team. He sacrificed his role for the team. He's an Iron Man, like Sean said, and he's going to guard your best player, if not a second best player, OG Anunoby, making Jalen Brunson's job easier. That's why Jalen Brunson is cooking the way he's cooking because, man, he get the rest a lot on defense. And, some people, they might try to attack him, but Tibbs did a good job at, helping him out on defense. I don't know what Mike Brown is going to do. We're going to see what's different. I know they kind of under, that same coaching tree a little bit, so I don't expect to see too much differences. I expect maybe a better offense with Mike Brown and a better, obviously, rotation, a substitution rotation.
Mike Brown probably doesn't get enough credit. He's actually very much an offensive guru. If you've ever saw him talk offense, and he's like one of these guys that has thick binders of nothing but different sets and things. So they're going to be much more diversified offensively. The question is, and I know we'll get into this when we do our NBA offseason preview once the season's close, is the buy-in. Because, again, the ball tends to stick, with Brunson a little bit. Is he going to be a little more, willing to play in a fluid system under Mike Brown? Because I think that's what Mike Brown's going to probably, demand.
Is his dad still going to coaching staff, or they let his dad go?
I think his dad's still on the coaching staff, but, again, I've seen coaches leave right before the season, assistant coaches leave right before the season started. So I don't know if he's going to be there. I'm presuming he will, but, we'll see.
We'll see. All right, next up on the list, we've been talking free agency. Last NBA story of the day. The Kings offered Malik Monk in a potential signing trade for Jonathan Kuminga. Man, you have been going back and forth about the Jonathan Kuminga situation. Obviously, you have been questioning his IQ or why he's not been playing. I've been questioning why he's not playing. And maybe if he is, maybe if you actually gave him the experience to play, those issues will be a problem. But it's hard for a guy to actually live and learn the game if you pull them in every time. But my problem is this, though, Sean. I think this is a great trade for the Golden State Warriors because you got somebody who fits your system, come right off the bench, be electric on offense. Malik Monk is crazy athletic, bring a different dynamic to the Warriors off the bench. It'll be like Jordan Poole without the headache, and you got a potential pick that's lottery protected. And I don't think as bad as the Kings are going to be, I don't think they're going to be in the lottery. They're going to be like how the Chicago Bulls is. I know this team because I see this team. It's just the Sacramento Bulls. They're gonna be right in the play-in spot, so it's not gonna be a lottery pick, it's a high chance low. So maybe I would call back and say make it top 10 protected, just so you can get the 12 through 15. Maybe you could probably get the 12th pick. And Jonathan Kuminga got a chance to start too with the Kings. So I'm just saying I would take the trade. And one more thing, Sean, I feel like my only problem with the Warriors is this: in all this whole offseason, you have been overvaluing Jonathan Kuminga. But when we see what you do with him on the court or what Steve Kerr does with him, it doesn't look like the value that you're asking me. That's it. You can't treat him like he's nothing, and then tell me his goal when it's come to the negotiation table. I'm not going for that. That's my only thing. But I want to hear what you think.
So I think two things. First, this would be a terrible trade for the Warriors because they have 9,000 guards already who do some of the same stuff Malik Monk does. When you talk about Buddy Hield and Podziemski, and they have a lot of they got guard heavy.
Malik Monk better than all of them though.
No, better is not the issue. It's roster construction is the issue. They have way too many guards, and I know this sounds crazy, but in the Western Conference, you can't throw 5 guards on the floor and say, let's go win. You're going to get killed.
Technically, hold on, wait. You can't count Gary Payton as a guard because Steve Kerr plays him at power forward.
Well, no, but if Gary Payton's he's not signed. So, I'm saying.
Oh, you're not counting him, okay.
Yeah, no, I'm not counting. I'm just saying just Buddy Hield and Podziemski and Moses Moody and, they're pretty.
Steve Kerr has those wings and forwards, to be honest with you.
So all I'm saying is I just don't think Monk would be what they would want. I think they would want a big in return for Kuminga, and I don't think that's on the table right now for them. Well, I think there's a reason why.
Nikola Vucevic on the table, but they don't want Vucevic.
I would have more of a conversation about him than Malik Monk just because of fit. That said, I think there's a reason why you haven't seen a bunch of teams running and jumping to sign Kuminga to a deal, particularly a deal that they know the Warriors won't match. And the reason why they're doing that is because obviously there's still some questions about him. Do they think there's still some upside there? Yes. But there's some questions about him. When you've seen him get run and you've seen him get minutes, there's some things that I'm sure they like, but there are also some things where you're like, yeah, it's the between the ears is just not there. And I think the Warriors on their end know that there's still some meat on that bone. But the question is Golden State the place for him to get that? I would say no, not anymore. But the Warriors just can't give him away either. He's an asset, and they just can't give him away.
Also, Sean, I kind of actually disagree a little bit too, because I think teams know, like you said, it's a certain price that people don't want to pay for because we don't know the potential for sure. Because we thought Jordan Poole was going to go to Wizards and become James Harden. Didn't work out like that. But if I know nobody's going to offer him nothing, he's just going to sign this 1-year qualifying offer. And if we just get him next year for nothing, because he's going to walk. He don't want to be. He already made it abundantly clear. I do not want to play for Golden State. So,
right.
So it ain't like Golden State going to just – he got to sign – at some point, he got to sign a qualifying offer. So he's going to be on a 1-year deal, and he just go walk next year. And he's going to get signed, and then go he wants to go. Well,
the other question is again, does he sign the qualifying offer, or does he take the 2-year $45 million? I think it was 2 years, $45 million is what was
2 years,
reported.
45, yeah.
Was reported.
With a team option, not a player option on the
right,
side.
Exactly. So, so again, the qualifying offer I think is 8 or 9 million, or maybe 14. I'm not sure what the numbers are. Mm-hmm. It's lower than the 2 years, $45 million, obviously. Yeah. So for him and his reps, I think they're gonna have to find some sort of, agreement, and maybe it is going to be a sign and trade. I just think there's not a lot of teams out there pining for Jonathan Kuminga today.
The problem is, though, Sean, what I said, the Warriors getting greedy, is that they are asking for, like you said, either they want a big or a good rotational player. Like when I say good, like you said, Malik Monk, 6-man caliber.
Mm-hmm.
And they want a first. They want an unprotected first. And I'm being honest with them. I don't think they're getting it. Because I think they wanted Vooch, the Bulls were giving up a first. So they were trying to work their way to make it happen, maybe get a couple seconds. I can say a couple seconds. But I can't see any teams giving them an unprotected first for a guy that you don't 100% know. You see the potential, but you don't know if it's 100% there. That's why I said I think the Warriors getting a little too greedy on that. And I think if they just stick to just getting a player and just call it one, I think they'll be fine. But
yeah, but from the Warriors' perspective, they're not just going to give them away to get something they don't want, right? No, they got to get something out of it, and that's really what it comes down to.
Yeah, if they don't do it this year, then because I think, let's be real, I think this year, this might be the last chance for the Warriors to actually make something happen, make a run. But yeah, let us know what you guys think. Would you guys accept that trade? Malik Monk for Jonathan Kuminga, Malik Monk in a first-round pick, lottery protected first-round pick for Jonathan Kuminga. Sean, we got to get into some football. Hold on one second. I need when I see it. Oh, excuse me. When I see this, I need to pull the exact quote up. I'm sorry. I need to see this quote. So I'm being aggressively egregious with this because this is a division rival. Obviously, the Broncos. Coach Sean Payton, took over Denver, made a lot of changes, kicked their quarterback out, left a whole tax tab on the team, ended up getting Bo Nix. Let's be real, Sean. Me and you both laughed about it. Bo actually balled out, shockingly. Sean Payton did his thing.
He played well. We're not going to say he balled out. He played well. But
he balled out because I thought he was going to be trash. So I'm going to just say that little decent stuff he did, he balled out for me.
Okay. We're not doing that.
I mean, but also, it's my division, so I watched them a little more closer. So I kind of see highlights and things you probably didn't care to look for with Bo Nix. Trust me. I didn't want to watch it. I had no choice to see it. But Sean Payton said the Broncos are capable of winning a Super Bowl. The quote is exact. He said, the short-term goal is winning the division, Payton said last week, according to Yahoo's Charles Robinson. But this team is capable of winning the Super Bowl. I've coached 6 teams that I thought could win the Super Bowl. Some went to the championship game, some to the playoffs. This is my 7th team that I think that has that. Now, before I say, let me say this first. As a coach, what am I expecting him to say? This is what he's supposed to say. But Sean, we have been doing a sports show, and obviously if something big has happened, we would talk about it. What moves has the Broncos made that just upped them to a championship caliber team? What did I miss? Who did I see that got signed that I didn't see got signed? What was added besides what was added to Sean Payton Cup before that interview, before he walked out and said that? Because you putting unnecessary pressure, expectations on this team that does not need it, and nobody wasn't thinking like this. So if the Broncos come out 4 for 4, 2 for 6, whatever record, we're gonna have a whole different conversation looking back at this. So is he crazy for saying this? I think he's crazy.
SB, if you ever go interview for jobs, they'll ask you questions like, hey, you mind working weekends? Yeah, I can work weekends.
Oh.
What if we need you to work overtime? Oh, yeah, I work overtime all the time. Don't worry about it. Well, we're not going to give you any sick days. Well, that's all right. I'm good. I don't get sick anyway. That's literally what Sean Payton is doing here. He's literally, it's just hyperbole. Capable? Maybe. Realistically? No. No.
Not happening.
They were every year, and I know we're going to do this here very soon. Every year, there's usually one team in each conference that goes on a run that nobody saw them going on before the season started. Yes. Last year in the AFC, I think that was the Denver Broncos. Nobody saw them doing what they did and squeaking into the playoffs the way they did. Nobody saw Washington in the NFC doing what they did last year, and obviously going on a run and making to the NFC Championship game. Now, you're not going to shock anybody. So and there's no slight to Denver and to the Broncos. They got a really, really solid football team.
Defense is nice.
And they got some young guys that are getting better. Maybe Bo Nix will continue to grow, things of that nature. But let's calm down. Okay? Let's calm down. All right. Let's calm down. You're still in the same division with Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. Let's calm down.
You said win the division. It's crazy. Now I'm a Chargers fan, and I ain't even bold enough to say we're gonna win the division. Right. I'm like, if I'm like joking, I'm talking like seriously? No, we not winning the division. They not losing, bro.
Yeah, but like you said, what is he supposed to say? Right?
Yeah,
what is he supposed to say?
Now, Sean, we got to get into some Cowboys drama. It always seemed to happen. Jerry Jones loved to be in the news. Jerry Jones is eating his old, tuna sandwich in his office, probably an egg salad sandwich, enjoying and having a good old laugh because he's getting what he wants. The Cowboys being the headlines for everything but football. Micah Parsons has requested a trade. obviously he has been going through contract negotiations, which is crazy. I don't get how you just don't pay one of the best defenders in the league. But obviously, it's the Cowboys. You know, they like to wait and pay double the tab that they could have just easily paid less money if they paid them two years before. But I digress. So obviously, contract negotiation goes on. They don't want to sign him, or they're not getting what he wanted. There were stories that when Micah Parsons tried to talk to negotiations, they tried to get Jerry to talk to his agent. Jerry didn't want to talk to his agent. It was just trying to get Micah Parsons, which that's bad taste when it comes to signing. And the exact quote from Michael Parsons was, "I no longer want to be here. I no longer want to be held to closed door negotiation without my agent present." Parsons said in the statement, "I no longer want shots taken at me for getting injured while laying it out on the line for the organization. Our fans and my teammates, I no longer want narratives created and spread to the media about me. I have purposely stayed quiet in hopes of getting something done." He also added, "I have made a tough decision. I don't want to play for the Dallas Cowboys. My trade request has been submitted to Executive Vice President Stephen Jones." And also, when we look back at this point, because I gotta get everything out there before I get what you said, because Jerry did respond to this. Because now Dallas fans got to crashing out when this happened, because they just lost Luka Dončić. And Jerry said, "I think in the word of Micah, that's just a part of negotiations." Jones said that during the trade request according to Athletic of Joe Mochata, "I don't really place that with any seriousness. I wouldn't be here standing with you if I didn't think we potentially had a great future with Micah Parsons. We're in good shape." Jones added, "This is negotiations, but make no mistake about it. Life has to go on. If something happens to me or anybody else, life does go on." Sean, take the floor.
First, can we petition to rename this team to the Real Kardashians of North Texas?
That, at this point, I'm with you on that.
It's just a reality show, a cheap reality show at this point. Like, Jerry Jones cares more about clicks than championships at this point. Are the Cowboys trending? Anytime the Cowboys do something that's going to make news because it's the Cowboys, that's what he's turned them into.
Yep.
But it's kind of a joke at this point. Micah Parsons has an agent. David Mulligetta is one of the better agents in football, right? One of the better agents. Like he's like that. If Micah Parsons and Jerry Jones are having a casual conversation and Micah Parsons says, "That sounds good, but talk to my agent." That's his job. That's what he's supposed to do, is talk to the agent. And for Jerry Jones to cavalierly say, "Well, I can't reach the agent when there's a problem with the player," like,
who you fooling?
Yeah, come on, man. And I say this affectionately, Jerry Jones has reached the Al Davis portion of his ownership, which,
and his age, according to Chris, too, is that he reached a certain age too.
Yeah, I don't want to put a number to it because I know people in that age bracket who still have the best of minds, but it's just a terrible, terrible look. But it also, and here's the thing, from the fan perspective, you hate it, but you're still going to watch the games. You're still going to go. You're still going to buy the paraphernalia.
You're still going to say this year's the year,
right? Well, the delusional ones will. But
but that's why they Cowboys fans, they're delusional. If I was a real fan, hey, you got to learn how to cut ties with the team at some point. I would have been cut ties with them a long time ago.
Yeah, but I think it's just one of those things where it's just kind of like what do we do? Like, just look in your division. How have you heard a single Eagle player or coming out talking about money during training camp?
Nope.
There's none of that. You hear a single Eagle player talking about winning last year's Super Bowl? No, there's none of that. You know what the focus is? 2025, 2026. That's the focus. That's it. None of that other stuff. So if you're a Cowboy fan and you're just looking in your division, now I know Washington has their own issues, with Terry McLaurin, which I think will get figured out. But this just drives you crazy if you're a Cowboy fan. But this is also for some reason why this is how they do business. I don't know why, but this is just how they do business. And yesterday's price will never be today's price, and today's price will never be tomorrow's price. And you better hope that Detroit doesn't get Aiden Hutchinson signed. Because if they get him signed, it may change the asking price of Micah Parsons. So I just think it's crazy. Now, is Parsons going to get traded? No.
We can go ahead and stop there now.
Right. The only comparison, I went back to try to find a comparison. The only comparison I could find was Khalil Mack when he got traded from the Raiders to the Bears. But the Raiders traded him because they didn't have any money. And they had just given Chucky $100 million to do absolutely nothing, because that's what Chucky does, unless he's taking over somebody else's team that's already pre-built. But that's neither here nor there. The point is they didn't have money to pay him.
Right.
I don't think money's the question with the Cowboys. I just think the way they do business is seriously questionable, particularly if it's supposed to be one of your foundational players. And then then you say, well, we paid Trayvon Diggs and he got hurt. And it's like, why the drive-by? Like, Trayvon Diggs, that has nothing to do with Micah Parsons in negotiation. Like, what's up with that? So, yeah, I personally won't say I wish them well. I wish them 8-8, or excuse me, 8-9, or 9-8, or whatever they got to do to be.
I wish them first round. I wish they are.
First
round. I wish them the number 2 pick in the draft. There you go. That's what I wish. I want to be trash.
Yeah. So it's just okay. Whatever.
Yeah. But now, and then for me though, Sean, and I look at it like this, right? Because I've also believed this certain thing about people holding out and negotiations during this time and making things a problem. I always go back and blame the NFLPA, because I also think like perfect example when I say why I blame the NFLPA, because they got one of the worst players union out of all sports. Right now, the reason why Micah Parsons is not going to get traded is because the Cowboys can hold Micah hostage for the next 3 years, and he can't do nothing about it, because he gonna sit out this. Say if he sit out this year, go to the offseason. He's a free agent. No, franchise tag. Because the franchise tag supposed to be in place where you time to negotiate a contract. That's what it was. But like, hey, you are a franchise guy. We want to keep you around. That's what it was for. But a lot of guys like Jerry Jones, which he has done this before too, with Dak Prescott, franchise tag. I think he franchise tagged Dak twice before he actually signed him and gave him money, right? I believe so when Dak got signed. So, but that's the problem I blame NFLPA, because why is the franchise tag still a thing, and why are we still going through these negotiation problems in the league anyway? This is the only league where it's just like it becomes a thing that's disgusting. And then you treat the players wrong from the point of perspective where, hey, he don't want to win. Hey, he ain't about the team. But the whole time it's like he is about the team. He just want to get a contract done. Just give him just pay the man. I understand how it's hard to pay one of the best defenders in the league. And Jerry Jones care about clicks more than anything. So he going to wait longer. Aiden Hutchinson going to get signed. The Lions are going to sign Aiden Hutchinson. And that number that you was supposed to pay him is finna go high up in price. And then now you're really going to be mad. But also, you got a player who needs to be getting reps, and you complain that players getting hurt. Players sitting on the sideline, that ain't going to help in that, Sean. It ain't going to help at all.
The sad part of it, SB, real quick, and I know we got to move on, is a lot of this was supposed to be alleviated with the rookie salary cap.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the reasons why they want to put in rookie salary cap, so more of the money could go to those players who had earned it.
Yeah.
You had Michael Parsons on a rookie deal, right, for 4 years. Now he's on his 5th year option. He's getting paid fairly well under that 5th year option. Now it's time to pay the costs of doing business. And why aren't we doing this? And again, you brought up a good point about the NFLPA. This is why I tell people all the time, I don't get mad with NFL players at all for trying to get every penny they can get. I don't side with the billionaires over the millionaires in a labor dispute. Jerry Jones has made a lot of money in the last 35 years over the Dallas Cowboys, owning the Dallas Cowboys. There's not one player who's played for the Dallas Cowboys that entire 35-year run of Jerry Jones's ownership.
That's true.
So I hope Parsons gets every penny he's worth and he's due, as not just a great pass rusher, but as one of the faces of that franchise and of the league. But we shouldn't be still having this fight again, given that's the reason why they put the rookie salary wage and the salary cap in place. And it stinks that Micah Parsons hasn't gotten paid. He could have gotten paid last offseason, but no, you didn't, because you didn't take care of CD the year before, because you didn't take care of Dak the year before. You had to push Micah off to this year. You knew that was coming, and here we are. And you didn't call his agent. You didn't say, "Hey, let me have a conversation."
Now. And Micah was the one player who was cool about everything. He said, "Don't worry about me. Handle this. I sit back and wait my turn for the money." He didn't even press the issue about him not getting signed.
Right.
He could have made it an issue last year. He literally said, "No, we need CD." He was so I never want to hear no excuse about Micah not a team guy. He tried to do that last year.
Right.
He said, one boy said, the Giants are the reason the Eagles won the last Super Bowl, because they traded the Devontae Smith trade to Dallas, who then traded the pick to the Eagles. I mean, but that's not really their fault. They said they traded the pick and the other team traded the pick. That's not really their fault. Now, if you're going to blame them for Saquon Barkley, I 100% agree on you, because they should have never let Saquon Barkley walk out the door. Take it back to T.O. He said T.O. was a hell of a time. They didn't want to pay him. Neither. They had excuses for him neither, but they paid Tony Romo, which is true. But that's a different conversation. You know why Tony Romo got paid. But let it be known, I'm a Carolina Panthers fan. Yeah, we're in the same kind of Dallas Cowboys. I mean, yeah, but I know football.
And be grateful we're on this podcast, because we can't use the nickname many people use for Tony Romo on this podcast, because we're not trying to alienate any communities.
No, we not. Yeah, we not. Yeah, we ain't gonna do that.
But just know, yeah.
And then, trust me, I know you enjoy football, because if how bad the Panthers been over years and you still watch them, that's just for the love of the game, brother. So Chris, don't even. I appreciate that you went through that suffering. That Barkley made the Smith trade. I mean, yeah, but did they really their fault? The Saquon Barkley is 100% directly them. But I get what you're saying. Like, who would they trade Micah Parsons to? I can 100% tell you, one, Micah Parsons not getting traded. But two, if he was to get traded, I can guarantee you he will not be in no team in that NFC East. Jerry Jones will not let that happen at all. Jerry Jones would probably try to send him into purgatory if he could. He'd probably be on the Arizona Cardinals or the Carolina Panthers, probably. But Sean, let's play the hypothetical game, and y'all can play in the chat. If you was a team trying to get Micah Parsons, I got three. Even though I'm going to contradict myself what I just said too. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I got three teams. If you are a team, which team should go all in for Micah Parsons? If it's like a glimpse of a chance to get him, who you got?
Well, let's go back and forth, because you got three and I have three. Okay, you can go first. Give me your first team.
Oh, the first, the Chargers.
Okay.
Of course. Why not? Yeah, of course. The Chargers. We just got rid of Joey Bosa. Get Micah Parsons. And with Coach Harbaugh over there. Oh yeah, our defense. Oh, hey, Micah Parsons comes to the Chargers. You might lead the league in sacks. I ain't gonna lie to you. That would be real. Okay, who you got?
Green Bay Packers.
Ooh. Okay. I can see that. I wonder who you should give up, though. We ain't got to go too in detail about who you give up.
Right, yeah, no, we're just naming teams.
Okay. Next one. It might seem biased what I'm saying this, but it kind of makes sense for them, though. But only thing I'm worried about is who I might have to give up to make it happen. But I would definitely say the Bears. Because how it's looking for what I'm close to city training camp, their defense will have to be elite, because Ben and Caleb ain't getting it together. It gonna take some time with them two. I'm gonna tell you. So that defense gonna have to be elite. Tiffany said the Bills. The Bills. He said for the show to carry like pass. Come on, get Mike. It's possible. Okay, so who your next one, Sean?
Washington Commanders. Now they're not trading him in the division, but that would be a team given what he did under Dan Quinn. Makes sense. Yeah, Commanders.
Now, Sean, I'm glad you said that because my third team was a team in the division too, and I'm just gonna be a petty with it. I think the Philadelphia Eagles should trade for him. And then because you can easily trick them, like, hey, look at our defense. You might have to give up somebody on that defense. That defense is stacked because you go with that defense so stacked, you gonna have to give them somebody. But if I'm the Eagles, I'll be petty just to give them. And the Eagles could find a way to make that happen. That is, I would say, besides the Patriots, but that Patriots like the Tom Brady, Bill Belichick era. Just as an organization in general, no matter who is around, the Eagles, because I hate saying this because I got a friend who's like a super Eagles fan and he talks so much crap, so that's why I be talking about the Eagles. But the Eagles have been probably like the best ran organization for like the last 10, 15 years, bro. Everything about them is what we gonna do to win. What we gonna do to win. I think it was a dude who is in a front office. I don't know if he played college somewhere else. He is a rival of Georgia Bulldogs. They got him on tape saying, "Hey, I hate that I got to take all you Georgia Bulldogs." I think was this Nolan Smith on the phone with this one on the draft one. I forgot what it was. He said, he was like, "I hate taking all these Georgia Bulldogs, man." He said, "But you want to win, though, don't you?" He said, "Heck yeah, I want to win," and that's what you want from an organization. And that's why Eagle fans are annoying. But when you got an organization that do everything to win every day, I act like that too. I'm not gonna lie, I act like that too. Go Jay and say Bill Mafia. Chris said I'm messing with the Chargers. My boy Khalil Mack over there, he can learn that. He said Micah Parsons to the Eagles. He said, "Come on, SB, we know the Chiefs are the best." No, they're not. Okay, let me say that before we go because we got to do the we got one more NFL thing talking about ranking offense. The Chiefs got lucky. They got Andy Reid and this kid named Patrick Mahomes, who was go back and look on the draft tape. Nobody trusted him. They thought he was too sporadic. They thought he was too out of control. He is in backyard football, not gonna work in the NFL. Tyreek Hill thought he was trash the first couple of weeks. They got lucky as HELL. That's all I'm gonna tell you. They not the best. Go back and look at what the Chiefs been doing on these. They was doing nothing. They luckily they got Andy Reid, who the quarterback whisperer, and they just got a generational talent that Andy Reid shaped into the greatest quarterback of all time. That's literally it. I can't see nothing else, Sean. You said Micah Parsons to the Dolphins? Ooh, I don't think maybe not that one. Not that one. I can't see that at all. As long as he don't go nowhere to AFC West. Now, I want you guys to comment in here below, but we're gonna react to the scores, top 10 offense heading to the season. And Sean said, when you looked at this list, he said a team was missing. I didn't really look. I just seen it, and I was like, oh, yeah, this would be a good topic to talk about coming into the football season. But top 10 offenses, and Sean told me a team is missing on this list, so I definitely want to see who's missing. All right, top 10 offenses heading to the 2025 season. Number one, wait, do they got it right? Let me see.
Yeah, they got it. Yeah.
Wait, I can't. Wait, use the pictures.
Yeah, see where it says projected starters? That's
first. Okay, yeah. It had the pictures on. Let me reload it. Maybe. Hold on, wait. Okay. Oh, well, I guess. Okay, there you go. There you go. This is what I want to love right here. Okay, number one, the Baltimore Ravens. With Lamar Jackson improvement as the pastor. Oh, wait, was it Michael Parsons of the Bengals? No. They don't even want to pay that. They only want to pay their defenders they got now. They only pay their first round pick. That's not gonna happen. But Baltimore Ravens is the number one offense, and it could be the number one offense in the league. Adding DeAndre Hopkins, I just think it's just more of the Lamar Jackson show and how great Lamar Jackson is as a player. He has dynamically improved as a passer. Like it is best talent in the league is probably Lamar Jackson, because if Lamar Jackson with Andy Reid, good God. I'm gonna tell you this, Sean. I know it. Never mind. I ain't gonna say it. Just know he won't be labeled the next GOAT if he was with if he was with Andy Reid. That's all I'm gonna say. He did the same thing. He just a little too we never mind. See, I was finna say something I don't need to say. Thank you, Sean. Number 2, the Buffalo Bills. That's too high. Number 2?
Yeah, it's a little high for me for them. James Cook, they got to figure out his contract situation. Who's going to emerge as kind of their number one receiver. I know they kind of did it by committee last year, but I think they obviously need to identify probably a number one receiver. Maybe it's Keon Coleman, maybe it's Palmer. I know Shakir is out with an injury right now, but a little high for me, but they'll still be a pretty good offense, obviously with Josh Allen and that scheme.
I got them as the top 10, but 2 is too high. Number 3, the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, wait a minute. The Bills' offense gonna be better. Eagles, you must be out your mind. Barkley, the offensive line and Barkley better than the offensive line alone, and Barkley is better than the Buffalo Bills offense. But then you add Jalen Hurts' ability, then Devontae Smith, hey, Andrew Brown, you crazy. I'm taking the Eagles. The Eagles got to be higher. I got the Eagles as number 2 offense in the league.
My only question mark with the Eagles is right guard because Mekhi Becton played really well for them last year. He's gone. Obviously, Tyler Steen steps in. I don't know if they may use Keon Dixon as well at right guard, but that would be my own. If I have one concern about the Eagles, it's the right guard position. How they're doing, who's gonna emerge as their starting right guard. But the Eagles, they'll be fine.
You know what Becton at, right, Sean?
Yeah, I know where he is.
You have to get that. Number 4, the Detroit Lions. Only thing I'm questioning about them, I'm concerned is just like the offense coordinator. You switch offense coordinators. Do you expect the team just be just as impactful as it was? But besides that, I think everything else is really intact for me with the Lions. I'm cool with that placement. I'm surprised they didn't glaze the Bengals and put them higher, honestly, because their defense ain't about worth for nothing. But top 5, I'm cool with the Bengals being top 10 offense. I could agree with that.
Yeah, but I'll say the one thing with the Bengals is the interior of their offensive line. You can have all the weapons in the world, and obviously Joe Burrow's one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but the interior of that offensive line is a little bit of a concern for me. But that said, they're going to score points, but if they have a weakness on the offense, it's the interior of that offensive line.
True said, people overrate Buffalo every year. Yeah, but Bill Mafia is legit. I ain't gonna lie, they one of the best fan bases in the NFL. I ain't gonna lie, so they always be overrated. Their fan base is legit. Wow, Tampa Bay Buccaneers top 10. Okay. Well, the only thing guaranteed is Mike Evans gonna have 1,000 yards. That's the only thing I can guarantee. That's about it.
Yeah.
Kansas City Chiefs at 7. Is it the offensive line that bad, or is the receivers the problem? Why they that low?
I think the offensive line is actually better. Probably the best offensive line they've had probably in 2 years. Again, I don't know if this will be their starting offensive line in terms of the tackles, but the interior of the offensive line is really good. And the big thing for them is, Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy being healthy. If they're healthy, they can be really explosive offensively. So yeah, I would say I'm okay with this.
But they top 10 though for sure. The Green Bay Packers. Ooh, wait.
Listen, Matthew Golden might be the best rookie receiver we see this season. He's that good.
I'm worried about is Jordan Love gonna do his job? That's all I'm at.
I think the question isn't Jordan Love, because Jordan Love, the big issue with Jordan Love is starting out faster, right? He's tend to start the season slow, but then usually by like late October all the way through, he's on fire. He's usually one of the higher rated quarterbacks in the NFL. The big thing for them is, if you go back and I watched some of their tape from last year, they had some drops. They had some guys that just weren't making plays for him outside. So I think I'm not going to say what I have for Green Bay right now. I'll wait till we do our offseason predictions, but our or season predictions, but Green Bay is going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem.
Yeah, that division went up. The Rams, okay. The Puka Nacua and Devontae Adams combination with Kyrie Williams, okay. I can see them being the top tier offense, but it just depends what's up with Devontae Adams. But I know Puka and Williams gonna do their thing, and Matthew Stafford gonna sling that pill. Ooh, the Minnesota Vikings. I understand it, but my only thing is we do not know with JJ. I get it. You got somebody over there that can make it happen with quarterbacks. Got 2 quarterbacks paid a lot of money. Sam Darnold got paid. And Kirk Cousins even got paid multiple times out there. I get O'Connell. I get it. I understand. He can make it happen. But putting them in the top 10 offense right off the bat, I just think that was it's too much because he's the most important position. It ain't like we asking for a wide receiver or the running back to be like, oh, can he actually do it? This is the position, the quarterback. I got to see something with JJ to make him top 10 though. But I want to hear how you feel about the Vikings. I'm a little confused on the shot, and I want to know the team that you said was missing.
I would not have them top 10. I think they got a really good offensive line. Obviously, I like the receivers a lot. For me, the running game, Aaron Jones, how much does he have left in the tank? I know he played pretty well last year. I know they have, Ty Chandler, and they have George Mason, who they got from the Niners, who, will bring some pop. But as you mentioned, I haven't seen JJ McCarthy on the field. So I'm not putting their offense top 10 because I haven't seen their quarterback on the NFL field. So, no, I would not have them top 10.
I think so far what I would say, I think the order, you can order stuff better. But besides this pick, I'm not mad at a lot of the teams they picked.
Right. And I know they had 2 honorable mentions or 2 just missed it.
Okay. Just missed it. I would have put the 49ers definitely ahead of the Vikings if I had to pick between them 2. I get it. Right. Why? But Christian McCaffrey going to be back healthy next year, and then they're going to do good. The Commanders, I would have definitely put on the list higher than Minnesota. They just made the NFC Championship game. What are we doing?
Yeah, I mean,
Justin Jefferson, the best wide receiver league, but Guy Lee is only so much he can do. You got to get him the ball. You got to get the ball to him.
Right, and again, to me, the big question with the Commanders is the Terry McLaurin situation, and what does doubled up Debo do? So that matters.
Debo.
I'm not going there. So I understand the Commanders. I would have the Commanders there, maybe, but no.
Okay. Who was the team that you said was missing on this list?
It pains me to say it, but it's the God's honest truth. It's the Atlanta Falcons.
If
we
really see a lot of Michael Penix though, we see more than JJ McCarthy.
But I'll tell you this: Kirk Cousins was their quarterback. Their offense averaged 20.5 points per game. When Michael Penix took over, they averaged 32 points per game. They are going to be explosive. Now their offense, or excuse me, their defense is probably the biggest question mark. But when you just look at the weapons, Drake London, Bijan, obviously Tyler Algier. If you look at Kyle Pitts, and Kyle Pitts, again, he started to take off when Penix took over. They're going to be a problem, and they got a very good offensive line. We know Penix can absolutely spin it. He can make every throw. And so the Falcons they're going to be a problem.
So you telling me it might be worth putting Kyle Pitts on your fantasy team finally for once?
You know what? I'm not. If I had a late round pick and I needed to put him in, I would take a chance. But would he be my number one? No. Okay. But that said, I think he could have. He's in a contract year 2, so you factor in those things. But I think the Falcons are going to be an absolute problem on the offensive side of the football. They are going to be explosive.
All right, guys. We doing this series, the GOAT quarterback season in every franchise. We doing different divisions as the countdown to the NFL season is beginning. Let us know what division y'all want us to do next. This week is the AFC West. Shark, can you give us a rundown again? I know you wrote all of them down that we did. What's the rundown that we did so far?
So we've done the NFC South. We've done the NFC North. We've done the NFC West. We've done the AFC South. And we've done the AFC. This is actually the second
AFC West.
Yes.
AFC West. So
yes.
Let us know. You heard the division.
We've done the AFC North. I'm sorry. We've done the AFC North.
You done AFC North. So now y'all heard the division that we done. Give a comment down below what y'all want us to do.
So we only have two divisions left after this, the NFC South and the NFC East.
NFC South or NFC East. That's the one y'all can pick from. Let us know which one y'all want us to do. All right, Sean, open the list. And then how rules go, we picking the greatest quarterback season in the franchise history that we believe. And once you pick a guy, you cannot pick him again. Obviously, AFC West, one of the first teams on this list. We picked him. Me and Sean both picked the guy for this one, so he cannot get picked. So we can show you an example. Peyton Manning. So Peyton Manning cannot be picked. Me and Sean both picked Peyton Manning already.
Right. And so I'm sorry, we also have the AFC East left to do as well. So we have 3 divisions left.
Oh, AFC East, true. We did the NFC. We did the NFC East already.
No, we haven't done the NFC East yet. We haven't done the NFC East yet. So we have the NFC East, AFC East, and NFC South left after today.
Okay, well, all right. Well, we go vote again. Let me see. AFC East, one for NFC East. Tiff, did you pick AFC East or NFC East? You gotta give us one. You gotta give us one, Tiff. Tiff might be the tiebreaker. We'll see. Let me see. Hold on, wait. What are YouTube? And I'll do a poll real quick. Whatever the poll say, then that's what we'll do. Can I do it in here or no? I can't. Okay, it don't matter. Just go ahead. Just pick. Okay, Denver Broncos, Sean, greatest season in Denver history would have been Peyton Manning, but we can't pick him.
Okay, so remember, you had to play for this franchise at least 4 years to be qualified for this particular exercise. Winning the Super Bowl was great, but it does not mean you had to go quarterback season in your NFL history. And as SB mentioned, if we picked you for another franchise, you cannot be used again. So Peyton Manning is off the table because he was the Colts. 2004, Peyton Manning was the Colts. So Denver Broncos, quite a few guys in the running. I did write Peyton Manning's 2013 season down because it was an off-the-chart season, but obviously can't use him. Craig Morton in 1981, 3,195 yards, 21 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. Charlie Johnson, 1973, 2,665 yards, 20 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. But I went with their GOAT quarterback for their franchise. His 1993 season, John Elway, 63.2% completion percentage. His only 4,000-yard season passing in his career for a 7.3 yard average, 25 touchdowns, 10 interceptions for a 92.8 rating. I know some people will say he won the MVP in 87, but those statistics in 87 are shortened because of the strike. So went with John Elway, 1993 Denver Broncos GOAT quarterback season.
I was looking to find a way to finesse the way to get, say, his MVP season, but obviously because it got shortened, yes, it's 93, John Elway. If anything else, it would have probably been Peyton Manning 2013. I was trying to wait to sneak. I had to remember that we couldn't pick the same person again because I was going to try to sneak this season over to make over Peyton Manning's season. It was going to be hard case to follow, but I have to agree with you, definitely. 1993, 4,000 yards. He was getting 251 yards per game. It's ridiculous. During that time too. A lot of these. Don't get me wrong. Like I told you during this time, I'm not really gonna try to pick no old guys. I'm trying to show this generation some love. But to put up some of the numbers that they put up, how defense was playing during that time, I'm sorry, you got to respect it. True talking about Jake Plummer, 2005. Chill, true. Salute, Dodge. Next up on the list, the Kansas City Chiefs. This one is obvious too.
This one was pretty obvious, but I do want to represent for the ones that were in the running. Alex Smith, 2017, 4,042 yards, 26 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. Trent Green, who had a really good run in Kansas City after the Rams, 2004, 4,591 yards, 27 touchdowns, 17 interceptions. Steve DeBerg, A lot of people forget Steve DeBerg, longtime NFL quarterback, played on several teams. His 1990 season, 3,444 yards, 23 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. Lynn Dawson, who was probably their GOAT quarterback before this person I'm going to mention, 1966, 2,527 yards, 26 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. But GOAT quarterback season, Kansas City Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, 2018. MVP season, 66% completion percentage, 5,097 yards for an 8.8 average, 50 touchdowns, 12 interceptions for a 113.8 rating. GOAT quarterback season, Patrick Mahomes, 2018, Kansas City Chiefs.
All I'm going to say is technically, because games played, obviously he had to get to sit down and watch like play. That's his rookie season,
technically. If you want to
be technical about it, that's his rookie. That man dropped the first time he got a full season, dropped a 50 piece, 50 TDs. Sean, do you know how my mindset was? When I still remember this season vividly. So I'm thinking, like, we going to be decent. They finna get this young dude. He probably be all right. That man was torching everybody. To see 50 touchdowns, Sean, I was just like, I told you I had the problem with the Patriots during the LT era. I was like, here we go again. It's the same thing over again. I'm just like, it's literally the same thing over again. I got a team, and you know who's stopping me from watching my team actually do something great? The greatest thing to ever touch sports. Why does the GOAT have to stop what my team got going on, man? You know who stopped the Chicago Bulls from winning the championship? They was good. The souped up Miami Heat. You know what LeBron conversation? In the GOAT conversation. Every team that I ride with the GOAT to something got to stop him. But definitely 100% Patrick Mahomes that season, he was outstanding. And the crazy part about it is, Sean, he has put up lesser stats this season, and he has got better. He has improved. But that's Andy Reid, the quarterback whisperer, but 2018 Mahomes for sure. I think the Las Vegas Raiders, Sean, or the Raiders in general, I guess.
The Las Vegas Raiders. I mean, they're Las Vegas Raiders. They're still the Raiders. But the Las Vegas Raiders, a couple guys in the running. Derek Carr, 2016, 3,937 yards, 28 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Rich Gannon, his MVP season in 2002, 4,689 yards, 26 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. Daryl LaMonica from 1967, 3,228 yards, 30 touchdowns, 20 interceptions, and 4 rushing touchdowns. But I went with Ken Stabler, 1974, Snake. MVP season, 57.4% completion percentage, 2,469 yards. Was
they the Oakland Raiders during that time, or they was the Los Angeles Raiders?
They were the Oakland Raiders at that time. 26 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 94.9 rating, and he was the MVP of the NFL that season. So I went GOAT quarterback season, Raiders, Ken Stabler, 1974.
Sean, you know, cause I remember that one time we had an episode, we had the bonus. So I followed the rules of as being the Vegas. So the Las Vegas Raiders' greatest season will probably be Derek Carr, 2021.
Oh God. Ugh.
Yeah, you know, it was great. So greatness of the Raiders in the black and silver. One of the greatest seasons of football I ever see. Derek Carr, the greatest quarterback in Las Vegas Raiders history. Outstanding, man. You know, it's just so outstanding. But for the Oakland Raiders, Sean, I do have to agree with you. Yeah, I agree with exactly what you heard. But, you know, I'm picking Derek Vehicle. Am I being disgusted because I don't like the Raiders? 100%. 100%.
The only reason why I didn't do 2 SB was because they didn't rebrand from the Raiders. They're still the Raiders. When we did the other one, it was because the Oilers moved and rebranded to the Titans. You know, so that's why I didn't. You know, that's why.
I'm being.
Yeah, I know you.
I'm being disgusted. Any team out of the division I don't like. 100%. I don't like the Raiders. I don't like the Raiders at all.
Yeah.
Last but not least, the Chargers. Is Sean finna get mad because I'm finna find a way to throw Justin Herbert in this conversation? But let's go.
No, Justin Herbert is in this conversation. Actually, he was in the running for me with this one. Justin Herbert, 2021, 5,014 yards, 38 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Phillip Rivers, 2008, 4,009 yards, 34 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Drew Brees, who again he would not win for this one because Drew Brees will likely be the one for another franchise. But Drew Brees 2004, 3,159 yards, 27 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Stan Humphries in 1994, 3,209 yards, 17 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. That's the team that went to the Super Bowl and lost to the Niners. But I went with Dan Fouts.
Dan, I'm saying go get Big Dan. Get Big Dan some love.
Yeah. Dan Fouts, Air Coryell, one of the more historic offenses. 59.1% completion percentage, 4,802 yards for a 7.9 average, 33 touchdowns, 17 interceptions for a 90.6 rating. Chargers, GOAT quarterback season, Dan Fouts, 1981.
Honestly, Sean, when I was looking back at this, like I you know what I'm saying, I ain't like over. I'm a Chargers fan, but I ain't like over like super knowing like about Dan Fouts and all that. Like I was like, I know he was nice, solid. I heard a couple of things about him, looked at highlights. I didn't watch the game. I'm like that. When we was doing this, I looked back and I was like, bro, from 79 to like 82, 3, he was cooking. I was like, oh my God. Bro, Sean, I was like questioning who to pick. You know, I was like, it's Phillip Rivers, it's easy. But I'm like, let me check. And I was like, oh my God, he was, and it's in San Diego too. You know what I'm saying? So I step for San Diego Chargers over LA too. Should I do that? So in San Diego Chargers history, I have to agree with you, 1981. In Los Angeles Chargers history, I'm thinking, wait, let me check Phillip Rivers in LA. No, that was in San Diego. Dang it. Well, Justin Herbert is the guy. Also, Sean, a quick question though. So obviously we've seen the Hall of Fame thing that went on, right? The Hall of Fame speech that went on. Antonio Gates got in.
Yes.
Am I getting too delusional where Phillip Rivers might can sneak in? I seen Antonio Gates talking to him, and I was like, it could happen. Can my boy sneak in?
I think anything's possible. I just think there's some other guys who may have greater arguments than him, but the numbers, I think, will be the thing that carries him more than anything. Because when he retired, I think he retired top 10 in yards and touchdowns. So I think he's got a chance because of the numbers. Whether he's a true Hall of Famer, maybe a different conversation, but yeah, we'll see. And SB is frozen on my end. But what do y'all think in the chat? If y'all can hear us, all right. Phil Rivers, Hall of Famer. Can he get in the Hall of Fame? Yes or no? Please let us know. Yeah, I think he has an argument. True, I agree with you. I think he does absolutely have an argument. But I think it's a lot of guys that have arguments to be in the Hall of Fame, whether or not.
I'm good now.
Yeah, you're good now. Yeah.
Hey, it's crazy about it is I froze when you was talking about Phillip Rivers, and then I was back, and you was like, SB is froze, he cooked. And I'm like, I'm moving like this, like, shut up, I froze. But what did you say about Phillip Rivers, though? I didn't hear none of them.
No, I know. I'm sorry. I said Phillip Rivers, I think from a numbers perspective, has an argument because when he retired, I believe he retired top 10 in yards and I think in touchdown passes, if I'm not mistaken. I think there's an argument, but I don't think it's a lock at all. And I think there's other guys who have greater arguments for Hall of Fame consideration before Phillip Rivers should be even considered.
Yeah, but as long as my boy get in, we cool. Cause I was gonna say LT, but LT is a different specimen on his own. But I mean, you got Antonio Gates in there, the guy who was throwing the ball. Man, get my boy up in there, man.
But I mean but I think the thing is again, the argument is going to be if you I'm just use that draft class, Roethlisberger, Manning, and Rivers. If you were ranking them for Hall of Fame chances, I think Rivers would be the one that has the least chance of those three.
Yeah, because Ben got the wins. Yeah,
So that's that I think is going to factor in. He was good, but I never thought he was a Hall of Famer. Honestly, I just thought he was good, but I never thought he was a Hall of Famer.
Episode 77. Sean, who you got?
I'm going with a Hall of Fame. I'm going with Willie Roaf. Saints.
Okay.
Saints legend. Willie Roaf.
The new sheriff of town in LA, I'm going Luka Dončić. You gotta do the Don. It's a new sheriff in LA, Sean. It's new sheriff in town. Appreciate you guys watching. It's been another great episode of Real Takes Over Fake Debates with SB and Sean Webb. And we will see you guys on the next one. Peace out.
Real takes over fake debates.